What's up, everybody? I'm B-True, and today we got some big news from Diablo 3. Blizzard pulled a fast one on us, and yesterday, with little to no warning, they released patch 2.5, a decent quality of life update, a little over a week earlier than what we expected because Season 10 isn't starting until March 31st. So it kind of came out of nowhere. So let's go over what patch 2.5 brought and has changed about the game. So, like I said, this is mostly a quality of life kind of a change for this for this patch, but the quality of life changes are very, very helpful. So first off, we have the armory. Now, what the armory is a way for you to save sets, builds, all that good stuff. So what you do is you go to the armory. It's generally located next to your stash, and then you click on save for whatever you're wearing and whatever build you have and whatever skills and your passives, and it saves all of that. So it saves all of your gear, the gems that are in them, the legendary gems. It saves your skills with the runes as well as your passives. So it saves your entire build. And you can name it whatever you want. So if it's, say you're playing a barbarian, and you're using the Tacit of the Wastes, or the Curse of the Wastes, the waste set, you can name that as, this is my Waste Whirlwind Barb build. Then let's say you have a Rakor's Furious Charge build. Then you switch out your gear, you switch out your skills, put it whatever it is your Rakor's build's going to be, and then you can save your Rakor's build. Then whenever you want to, you can go back to the armory and switch between the two instantly. All you have to do is go up to click on whichever one you want, because you can save up to 5. Click on whichever one you want, click equip, and instantly you're going to have your other build. So this is really, really good because some people have like speed farming builds. They've got the Greater Rift pushing build, they got the fun build, or they're just testing something out. So now you can, with the click of a button, switch between your builds and your gear and everything, and you don't have to worry about switching everything up and make a mistake anymore. So this is very helpful, huge quality of life. Oh, it also stores your Kanai's Cube. I forgot about that. It also stores your Kanai's Cube. So, I mean, it literally saves everything. So that is a huge, huge help for people who have, different builds and try on different builds for everything, basically. Then another quality of life change that we've got here, the crafting materials are no longer stored in your in your inventory or in your stash. They now have their own separate storage tab that all of your crafting materials are stored in. So your Hellfire stuff, your Act Bounty specific materials, and then your actual building materials, they're all stored in there. So first off, this clears up some of your inventory as well as your stash space because you don't have, 16 million essences just taking up a bunch of space. But then also, it makes it easy because you don't have to constantly be, grabbing them and worrying about them taking up your space, having to move them from your stash to your inventory and vice versa. So this is a much smaller quality of life change, but it is, in fact, a good quality of life change. It helps you out a decent amount, and it's just nice to clear up the space so you can store more items. And things look a lot less cluttery with all of the crafting materials. So now that they're stored sort of the same as like blood shards, how your blood shards have like their own little well that they go into. Well, now you've got the little storage tab. You click on the storage tab, and you can see all of your materials. Now, as far as classes, there really weren't any major changes other than the Barbarian. His Seismic Rune, or Seismic Slam, the Rumble Rune, now consumes all of your Fury to increase the damage over time by 15% per point of Fury spent. So this is now a Fury dump, which you can use with the Leapquake build, because the Leapquake build, you reduce your cooldowns by every time you spend Fury. So you can completely dump your Fury bar completely, with one skill, your Seismic Slam, and then that reduces all your cooldowns, and that actually ends up making the build much stronger. So that should have a decent little effect. Other than that, though, that's the only real class change that we got. Then, the moment you guys have all been waiting for, the Primal Ancient items are now here. So what does this mean? The Primal Ancient items are a version of the Ancient items. They come with a red barrier around the item as opposed to a gold barrier as the normal Ancient items have. And what they do is, a Primal Ancient item drops 1% of the time that an Ancient item would drop. So it's obviously a very small chance. But when it does drop, it's guaranteed to be smart loot. So you're always guaranteed to get whatever, like the main stat you need. If you're a barbarian, you're guaranteed to get strength and nothing else. If you're a wizard, you're guaranteed to get intellect. And then on top of that, not only does it have the increased stat ranges that the ancient items do, but it is guaranteed to roll perfectly every single time. So every stat on this item, including the passive, if it has a range, will be guaranteed to roll perfect. So if it has the top that it can be is 1,000, it will guaranteed roll 1,000 strength, guaranteed roll 1,000 vitality. So basically what it is if you get the item that you need and you get the stats that you need, it is a guaranteed best in slot because you will never be able to do any better because it has perfect stat rolls. So this is a way for players who are pretty much at the end of the game that are just kind of grinding out very small increases. This is a way for them to get the true end gear items and never have to worry about a slot again. If you get the gloves that you need with the right stuff, you never have to worry about gloves ever again. And it's just a way of kind of completing the game. It's a way of getting perfect rolls and being able to really push min-max your character to the absolute highest degree. So, now, the only way that you can get these Primal Ancients, you have a chance of them dropping after your character has reached and completed Greater Rift 70 solo. Okay, so after you've completed Greater Rift 70 solo, you will have the ability for Primal Ancients to drop. You don't have a chance before that. After you complete Greater Rift 70, there's no notification or anything. There's no warning. It just lets you know. It doesn't let you know that they're going to drop, but after you complete it, you will have the ability for them to start dropping. Then Primal Ancients salvage, if it's not something that you need, it salvages into 15 Forgotten Souls, and Ancient items now salvage into 3 Forgotten Souls. So luckily, thanks to this, you're going to be getting a little bit more Forgotten Souls whenever you get Ancient items, and then you're going to get 15 if you have a Primal Ancient. So at least if you get a Primal Ancient that you don't need, if it's not exactly what you're looking for, at least luckily you have a decent return from it because you can get 15 Forgotten Souls out of it. Last but not least, there are a couple changes to the way that Adventure Mode works. So, sometimes when you are in a public game, you have characters in there that aren't necessarily geared for the level that you're in, that are basically just there to kind of steal some of the experience and then get free items because they want to be carried. And this it's not always an issue, but sometimes you notice it, somebody that doesn't actually add to the party. So what Blizzard did in order to fix this, it used to be that you could only enter a certain tournament after you hit a specific Paragon level, but now what they decided to do is they changed it so that you can only enter certain tournament levels based off of the solo Greater Rift that you completed. So up to Torment 6, there is no requirement. You can just jump in immediately once you hit level 70. Actually, I think you can do it before level 70. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Torment 7, you have to have completed solo Greater Rift 30. 8 is 35, 9 is 40, 10 is 45, 11 is 50, 12 is 55, and Torment 13, you have to have soloed a Greater Rift 60. Now basically what this does is it guarantees that the character has the ability to be at that tournament. They might not necessarily have the gear, because you can always just change off to a different build if you're farming for something, and there's nothing that they can do about that. But at least it shows that the character has the ability to compete on that level because they were able to complete the solo Greater Rift that actually corresponds with that Torment difficulty. So this is a nice little change, just to make sure that you don't have a bunch of people in your party that are kind of stealing or leeching off of you, as opposed to now you should have a much higher quality of player in your tournament, because you know for a fact at least they completed whatever the solo Greater Rift is that they would need to help you out. So that is it. That's everything that patch 2.5 brought. It's not huge with the content. It didn't really add a ton of new things to do other than grinding out for your Primal Ancients, but it did add a lot of quality of life changes, as well as a few differences to a couple new items and classes and stuff. So just some stuff to kind of shake things up, maybe make some more things viable. But I'm pretty excited about the whole Primal Ancients. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to be playing a lot more now just to try and grind some of those out. Still waiting. No word on the Necromancer or the Necromancer DLC. Anything along those lines. But I'm super excited for that whenever it eventually gets here. That's kind of what brought me back to Diablo 3 in the first place. So I'm going to be grinding out some of these skills now, or some of these Primal Ancients, until we get word of the Necromancer, and then I might switch over to a Wizard or something to try and get some intellect items. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it from me. Patch 2.5 is here. If you've got Diablo 3, load it up. Get patch 2.5 installed. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel for all of my future videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you guys if you stuck around through the video this long. Have a great day, everybody, and peace.